Is it a good idea to pair the RTX 4060 with a 1440p monitor to play the latest games in January 2025? Let's find out. To test this, I paired the Asus Dual RTX 4060 with the Ryzen 5 7600X CPU as part of the Be Quiet PC build, and we'll be experiencing the games today on my favorite 1440p monitor. This is MSI 271QRX QD OLED monitor, 360Hz, amazing. If you're interested in any of the products featured in this video, you can find them on Amazon at the links in the description below. There is no need to spend that much money on Windows 11 Pro when you can get it much cheaper at cdkeyoffer.com. Additionally, use discount code iVadim to get 25% off and bring the total price down to $22. Furthermore, you can find Windows 10 Pro as well as Microsoft Office at much cheaper prices as well. Get yours now at the link in the description below, and don't forget to use discount code iVadim to get 25% off. Let's start with the highly popular Path of Exile 2. We are at native 1440p resolution using NVIDIA DLSS, and all the graphics settings are absolutely maxed out. Dynamic culling is off, and dynamic resolution is also off. And using this configuration, we're getting above 40 FPS, but as soon as we start engaging in combat, FPS drops to below 40, which isn't nice. In order to get to our desired 60 plus FPS experience, we have to lower some settings. I suggest we lower shadow and GI quality, because that setting is expensive to run. You see, right away we're getting 70 FPS. Let's see if this is enough. If we encounter a large group of enemies, oh yes, let's go. FPS still drops below 50. Yeah, so this is not quite what we're looking for. It is close, but it's not quite just enough. So what I suggest we do next is use resolution upscaling. Let's set DLSS to quality mode. That gives us a nice boost. We're now getting 100 FPS. That makes me hopeful that the FPS will stay at above 60 at all times. At this point, let's gather some more enemies. I think this is a big enough crowd to entertain ourselves. Let's go. 62 FPS was the lowest number I've seen. Nice, we achieved our goal. And that is without even lowering some other settings, but shadow and GI quality is the most expensive to run. What we could do is we could lower the resolution upscaling to balanced mode to boost FPS a little bit more, but it's not going to give us a huge amount of performance compared to going from native to quality mode. Still, it helps us achieve that 100 plus FPS in some scenes, and then once we start the combat, FPS drops to 66, 65, which is still quite good. How I see it is that if you are doing endgame content and you find yourself lacking in the FPS department in certain scenes, then you can use DLSS balanced. Otherwise, personally, I'd use DLSS quality mode. Stalker 2 is next. We are at native 1440p, field of view 100. Graphics quality is maxed out. It is set to epic. And we are using NVIDIA DLSS, no frame generation for now. Stalker 2 is a GPU demanding game that features software ray tracing, hence why we're seeing just above 30 FPS in this particular scene, although this is one of the most graphically demanding levels in the game, Pripyat. So it's no wonder that this is happening on the RTX 4060. Let's see how resolution upscaling will affect our experience. Let's go straight for balanced mode. Okay, we are getting 50 plus FPS. This isn't bad actually. We're not quite at 60 plus FPS, and we're dipping to 48 FPS from time to time, so there will be some scenes where we will experience dips below 50, and yet this is a good base FPS for us to try out frame generation. Ideally, you want to have at least 60 FPS for the perfect experience, but 50 plus works as well. So let's go ahead and enable frame generation. And this is actually quite a good experience. Fluid gameplay with 70 plus FPS thanks to frame generation, and the controls feel responsive. The image that I'm seeing on the screen looks pretty good. Obviously, I prefer playing this game on DLSS quality mode instead of balanced, but this isn't bad, considering that this is a budget-friendly GPU in terms of money for 1440p resolution. Yeah, normally you would use the 60 class GPU to play at 1080p, but with the power of DLSS, we can now do it at 1440p. There's another set of settings that I would like to try, that is high graphics quality preset, DLSS set quality, frame generation disabled. Okay, this is pretty good. 50 plus FPS at all times, nice. This is a perfectly playable experience already, but we could still improve it further. If we want that 60 plus FPS consistently, then we could use DLSS frame generation to boost our image fluidity. But in terms of image quality, DLSS quality mode looks much better compared to DLSS balanced on the 1440p monitor. This is a 27-inch screen. Not that balanced mode looks horrible and unplayable. It doesn't. It still feels okay, but on quality mode, all the finer details such as grass, branches, leaves, everything looks just a little bit better. Now let's enable frame generation and see what happens. There we go. 80 FPS in some scenes, especially indoors, and 70 plus in other scenes. Oh, 69, nice. I've seen 69 FPS briefly just then. But yeah, this is a perfectly good experience, nice and smooth. Frame generation doesn't really degrade picture by that much. It only affects quality in motion, and it doesn't affect it that much. It's like having a tiny bit of motion blur. And that comes from a person who hates motion blur. Personally, I always turn it off. But if we need to make some sacrifices to get to that playable, pleasant 60 plus FPS, then I'm okay with it. I will use frame generation with the RTX 4060 any day. Because what's the alternative? Spending $500 plus on the RTX 4070 or 4070 Super to play on the 1440p monitor? Yeah. If you can afford it, then go for it. That's actually a better experience. I tried it. I can vouch for it. But if you're on a budget, then this is a perfectly good setup as well. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is one of those AAA games that requires a lot of video memory to run, and that is where the 8GB RTX 4060 is starting to show its age. 8GB of memory is simply not enough for some of these latest games, and here are the recommended settings that the game suggests we use. Yeah, you can't really go above medium graphics quality presets with 8GB of memory, and texture pool size has to stay on low. We're currently at native resolution using DLAA. This game uses hardware-based ray tracing by default. You cannot turn it off, even on the lowest settings. It is on, but it's just for the lighting. Nothing too crazy. because this game does feature full ray tracing as well, and there is no way the 8GB GPU can handle it. Even if the 4060 was strong enough to do that, 8GB is simply not enough because you need more VRAM in order to use that ray tracing. Nor can we boost our FPS with frame generation because that requires extra VRAM to run as well. But check it out, the game is actually working quite well. We're getting well above 70 FPS, so the GPU is strong enough to handle this game at higher graphics settings, but because we don't have enough memory, we cannot do that. As a result, if you want to play this game, you have to settle for the low graphics quality experience that it is right now. Yeah, this is a beautiful looking game. While it still looks okay with this graphics configuration, it is simply not as good as playing it on maxed out settings or even high. The only thing left to do is check out DLSS resolution upscaling. Let's set it to quality mode and see what kind of performance we'll get. Now with the resolution upscaling enabled, our FPS is kind of crazy high, 90 plus. And we actually have a little bit of VRAM left, so let's increase our graphics quality. Let's set it to medium. Oof, this puts us real close to the edge in terms of video memory. Well, at least the performance isn't affected. And right away, I can tell you that on the medium graphics, the game looks a little bit better. Yeah, the more you increase that graphics quality setting, the better the game will look. And it's a shame that we don't have enough memory to do that. In conclusion, the RTX 4060 still manages to deliver a good experience on the 1440p monitor thanks to DLSS resolution upscaling, and in some cases, like in Stalker 2, we have to use frame generation to get us past 60 FPS if we want to use high or epic graphics quality presets. And in other games, such as Indiana Jones, we have to make even more compromises because of the 8GB memory limitation. There's more and more games on the market that require more than 8GB to run on high and ultra graphics quality presets. So basically, we are stuck playing on either medium or low graphics quality presets in that kind of games. And rest assured, in 2025, this is not the last one of them, there will be more that require more than 8GB of memory. Still, I'm surprised to see that the 4060 is holding up pretty well. As of January 2025, I can still recommend it as a budget-friendly option for 1440p gaming. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this setup. And if you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to reward my work with a like. That helps out a lot. If you're interested in any of the products featured in this video, you can find them on Amazon and the links in the description below. And subscribe for more if you haven't already. It was I, Vadim. Until next time.